Hi, this is Sarah from Fallen Timbers. I'm coming to you from my little farm. You can see some goats and chickens walking around behind me. They're all curious as to what I'm up to. We're going to talk about decomposers right now. And decomposers are in our soil, and their job is to break down dead things. And to decompose means to rot. So some of us know about compost. We use compost to help grow things, and compost is where we take our food waste and it breaks down. That breaking down process is decomposing, and what happens is it turns those food scraps or food waste or dead things back into soil, and it makes those nutrients available for plants to use again. Decomposing is the end of our food chain. We talked about in one of our other videos and activities about our food chain, which starts with energy from the sun, then plants take up that energy, then herbivores eat plants, omnivores and carnivores are eating those plants and meat, and then when any of those things die, those nutrients, that energy that's inside the plants and animals needs to be recycled or broken down so that it can be used again in the food chain by those plants and taken up as nutrients by plants. So the decomposers are a really important part of our food chain because they are breaking down those things and making that energy available to continue in that cycle. So for an activity today, looking at decomposers, we're going to see what some of those creatures are that are in our dirt and in our soil right in your backyards. So some of those things are bugs, some of them are bacteria, which are too small for us to see. Some of them are worms and other things like that. And some of them are mushrooms or fungus that help with that decomposing process. I have a worksheet attached to this video for you, and it talks about what some tools you might need, maybe a spoon or a trowel to do some digging. You can have some kind of plastic container that you're going to put your bugs in, maybe a little bug jar, a little berry container, or a plastic bag. Any of those things you can use for collecting. And your little worksheet here. On the worksheet, it has a key or some pictures of some of those creatures that we might find in the soil, and we can use this to help identify or know the names of what these different creatures are. So to get started, you need to just go out in your backyard or some green space in the woods where you go hiking in your neighborhood somewhere, and find a place where you can where you have permission to dig or move around some logs or leaf piles or things like that. I have a log right here next to me that I'm going to turn over, and we're going to see what's under there, see if we can see anything moving. When I do this, we look for movement, and that's going to help us spot some of those creatures. All right, let's see what we've got here. So I've got this log here. I'm going to lift it up. Ooh, I see a worm. I see some ants moving. Let's see. Oh, I see a centipede. I'm gonna flip it over. I don't know if we can see it up close here. But we've got a cool centipede. I'm gonna set this down and see if I can catch it. Where did he go? He got away. That's okay. I'm gonna pick up this worm here. And then, oh, and a slug. That's a good one. Centipedes kind of freak me out because they move fast. All right, now here's an important step. I'm gonna put the log back where I found it, where it started, because that closes that little habitat back up for the creatures to live in. All right, so I've got in my little jar here, I've got a slug and a worm. So those are two creatures that I captured. I also saw an ant and a reddish colored centipede. So that's just under one log, all of those things. And all of these creatures that I'm showing you are part of the decomposition process. They're decomposers, and they're helping break down the dead things on the forest floor right here. Awesome. So get outside, do some exploring, make sure that you put those logs back, put the leaf piles back, and then put the creatures back where you found them. I'm going to put these guys back here. Awesome. Have fun outside.